Hello everyone. My name is Antonopoulos. I'm assistant professor at the University of Peloponnese and the second technical manager of Smart for All. First of all, I would like to also thank you for your interest in this open call and in the Smart for All activities in general. I will try to be very brief in order to give more room for your questions that are increasing, and of course the presentation of our already successful application experiments. I will follow up basically from Professor Keramidas' presentation and basically highlight that we have created this second presentation in the same context of trying to assist and help you create a competitive proposal. But whereas Professor Keramidas' presentation focused on what you should do, and it is indeed a very important and very useful presentation, in this case, we are following a different angle, if you want. We are now seeing Professor Keramidas' presentation tells you what you must do. Now, what we have done is to analyze what we actually have done when we have prepared the presentation. Practically speaking, we have analyzed all the reviews from the reviewers from already submitted proposals from previous open calls, of course. And we try to extract the main conclusions about the criticisms and let's say, oversights. I will not say mistakes, I will say oversights that actually caused grades. And this can be very important. Why? Because we know and we expect that this is going to be yet another competitive open call. As a question already made in the chat, we know that we're going to fund 4 proposals. There is going to be high competition. Therefore, this 0.5 grade that you can save by making sure that you are not making a mistake that has already been identified can make the difference between a funded proposal and a good but not funded proposal. As George said, we must be clear. There are going to be good proposals that are not going to be funded. So your proposal must be very good, and every half point counts. I will not go through the entire presentation. It's not a big presentation, but it is a dense presentation. Of course, we have analyzed all the criticisms, all the comments from the reviewers, the bad comments from the reviewers. We have grouped them in specific clusters and organized them in the 3 main grading pillars: excellence, impact, and work plan. So the intended use of this presentation is for you to actually download it from our site and have it next to your proposal, and make sure that you don't fall into the small traps that previous proposals have fallen, and they have caused them significant grades. As an overlook to the presentation, we start with the excellence. In the excellence, we have identified several mistakes, which most of them have to do with finding the right balance when you describe your proposal between being ambitious and being realistic. The proposal needs to be ambitious. We want to fund projects and proposals that have impact, that have added value. But you must not forget that we have a relatively short duration of time, 9 months, and 80,000 euros. So what you are saying must be realistic in this context. Okay. Another thing that also George highlighted is make clear why this consortium, the selected organizations are the best, are the right consortium to be successful in this project. Okay, and then other information that you can go through the presentation. It doesn't make sense to just read the presentation. The section that we have identified that it receives most of the criticisms, and actually the most important criticisms, meaning the points that we lose most of our grades, is the impact and the market. One reason that this may happen is that I'm an engineer, and that's why I'm saying that when we engineers try to write impact and market analysis and related sections, in many cases we don't do it as good as when we are writing technical documents and excellent documents and so on. So pay very good attention to this kind of mistakes and oversights that we have identified. Clear identification of the market, clear identification of the customers, clear identification of the competition, clear definition of how you plan to enter the market, of you are planning to create your own market. These are very important aspects that need to be clear. Specific KPIs, George provides a quite elaborate and specific list, are also very useful so that we give the reviewers to understand that we know what we want to achieve specifically and with numbers when this is possible, of course. Market analysis and how we are going to correlate ourselves with the market potential competitors, very important as well. Benefits for all members of the consortium, and not only economical. Also, this is an aspect that George has highlighted, and in many cases we overlook. We don't need to focus only on the economical benefits. Creation of jobs, improvement of the process, improvement of already existing product. Whether you plan to start up to create a startup company, these are benefits very, very important for us, and of course the reviewers are taking notice of them. As you are going to see, we have, whereas we have devoted one slide for the excellence, we have 3 slides for the impact and the market analysis. So I think there is a lot of information there for you to look into. And then we go to the implementation of the work plan. This is also a section that we have seen a lot of comments, a lot of criticism. Why? From what we have analyzed, we have seen that in most cases the descriptions are too generic. Most probably, there are cases that we may think that this is a relatively short duration project, only 9 months. The funding is not huge, is 80,000 euros, so things tend to be more straightforward. This is wrong. I think this is a wrong way to go. Your work plan, your implementation must be very specific. Indicate person months, indicate specific deliverables, indicate specific milestones as checkpoints for the duration of the project. Especially when the project is short, only 9 months, having specific and useful checkpoints in the form of milestones is something that it is well appreciated. Avoid logical errors. Have, let's say, realistic allocation and correlation between effort and budget. What each partner is going to do must make sense with how much funding this partner is going to request. Or effort with person month allocation. Role to person month allocation. We have seen in many times that the work package leader is going to have 1 person month. Clearly, this is a mistake, and this is an excuse for the reviewer to make a bad comment. Try to avoid that. Limited, also something that is highlighted in George's presentation. Explain why, present clearly what each partner is going to do to the project and why the expertise and the profile is the right expertise and the right profile for the specific role, and how the 2 in FTTEs and 3 in CTTEs members of the consortium are going to collaborate. They are not going to work just in parallel, okay? They need to collaborate. Make sure that you highlight how this is going to be achieved. And I will not take any more of your time. Just as a last slide, I would like to urge you to go to our site, go to the OpenCall webpage and the webinars and training courses tab. There you will find this presentation and videos from this and the previous webinars, as well as a lot of material that will give you a hint how to be successful and how other projects that have been successful actually did it.